Gil Martin here, and welcome everybody to today's episode of the Daily Packers Post, where we bring you in-depth analysis of your Green Bay Packers. We have new videos dropping every day, Monday through Friday, so hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. We have one preseason game and about 1 week left before final cuts have to be made. So we are going to talk about the Packers' 5 biggest position battles, who's ahead, who's likely to win the job, and why. We're going to talk about some of these tough decisions that GM Brian Gutekunst is going to have to make. The 5th position, quarterback 3, and that's a battle between Sean Clifford and Taylor Elgersma. And, to me, it's a tough decision because ultimately it's how you view the third quarterback position. You have a guy in Clifford this is his 3rd season in training camp. He's been on the roster 1 year. He was on the practice squad 1 year. You know what he is. And then in Elgersma, you have an inexperienced guy who just won the Canadian equivalent of the Heisman Trophy as the best college football player in Canada, is making a huge adjustment from a Canadian college with Canadian football rules to the NFL, and yet he has more arm strength and more physical tools than Clifford. So if Gutekunst views the third quarterback job as, hey, if something happens to both Jordan Love and Malik Willis, I need this guy to step in and play, I think he'll end up going with Clifford. If he views the third quarterback spot as a developmental spot, I think Elgersma makes more sense. Either way, the winner of this competition likely is technically on the practice squad to start the season. I think Elgersma has a slight edge. At running back, which is number 4 on our list, it's a tough call. And the unknown is going to be Marshawn Lloyd, because if Lloyd is healthy and on the roster to start the season, then there's a second question, and that is, do the Packers keep 3 or 4 running backs? If they keep 4, you're keeping both Chris Brooks and Emmanuel Wilson, in addition to Lloyd and obviously Josh Jacobs. But if they only keep 3, then you have to choose between Brooks and Wilson. Now, I think Lloyd probably starts the season on IR, but we have to see. And it's a tough one because they're going to try to sneak whoever doesn't win this battle onto the practice squad if Lloyd starts the season on the active roster. But I don't know if they'll be able to get Emmanuel Wilson onto the practice squad. I think someone probably would claim him on waivers. I think Chris Brooks probably wins the battle if there's only one spot to be had. And here's why. Matt LaFleur values the ability of a running back to pass protect, to pick up blitzes, stunts, read the blitz and the coverages and all of that. And Brooks does that better than any other Packers running back on the roster. So if it's 3rd down, you could put Chris Brooks in. He can catch a pass out of the backfield, but more importantly, he can help keep Jordan Love upright. So if Lloyd starts the season on the 53, I think Brooks has a slight edge over Wilson. And Brooks is also, you can consider him a fullback in role as well. And we know Matt LaFleur kind of likes having fullbacks. The number 3 battle, the last defensive tackle spot on the roster. We know Kenny Clark and Devontae Wyatt are the most likely starters. You have Carl Brooks and Colby Wooden in the backup spots. And then one spot left in a battle between 2 former college teammates, Warren Brinson, the 6th-round pick, and undrafted free agent Nazir Stackhouse, both out of Georgia. And, one of them's going on the practice squad, most likely. The other one will be on the roster. I think Stackhouse starts the season on the roster. I know Gutekunst likes his draft picks to make the team. I totally get that. But Stackhouse has a different body type. And the one role they have not filled is the TJ Slayton run stuffing nose tackle role. Slayton signs in Cincinnati as a free agent this offseason. The Packers don't re-sign him. I think Stackhouse can play that role. Smaller, shorter, but bigger body type, can occupy two blockers, hold his ground at the line of scrimmage, and free up teammates to make plays. I have the feeling Stackhouse finds his way on the 53. The last linebacker spot is our number 2 battle at this point, and it's a battle between Isaiah Simmons and Christian Welch. And again, you have two different situations here. And what will the coaches and the general manager decide? The battle is between Isaiah Simmons and Christian Welch, as I said. Simmons, 8th overall pick in the draft. Not, 8th round. There is no 8th round. 8th overall pick in the 2020 draft. Great speed and athleticism. He has all the tools that scouts look for, but he's never been productive at the NFL level. He's played safety, he's played linebacker, he's played special teams, but he is not able to consistently be productive on the field despite the toolkit. At times in training camp, he's made a lot of plays, but in both preseason games, he's looked lost out there, hesitant, unsure of his assignments, difficulty making his reads. Welch, not as big, not as fast, but smart, tough, consistent, knows what he has to do and does it to the best of his ability. Both players can contribute on special teams. I think Welch should win the job, even though Simmons probably has more upside, because here's the deal. He's been in the NFL 5 seasons. If he hasn't figured it out yet, he probably isn't going to figure it out. And I think Welch would just be more productive in that depth role than Simmons, even though on paper, Simmons has a higher ceiling. And the number 1 position battle right now, left tackle. Rasheed Walker, the incumbent, Jordan Morgan, his chief competitor. Morgan, obviously, the first-round pick last year in 2024. Walker was the starter in camp, but he got injured, missed some time. Morgan stepped in, and in both preseason games, Morgan has played well. Now, there are some scouts who think Morgan is better suited to guard because he doesn't have the ideal arm length that you look for in an NFL tackle. But Morgan has been getting the job done, and now it seems to be an actual race. Both of these guys are making the team. Let's not even debate that. But the question is, who earns the starting position? Keep in mind, if Walker doesn't start, he'll probably be the swing tackle. If Morgan doesn't start, he could also compete with Sean Ryan for the starting position at right guard. Or we also could see something similar to what we saw the last couple of years at right guard, where, let's say Walker starts, but Morgan plays every 3rd series or every other series and spells Walker. Now, you want continuity and familiarity along your offensive line, but the Packers coaching staff has not been afraid to do that rotation. They did it. They did it with Jensen and with Ryan, and then Ryan and Morgan last year before Morgan got hurt. So we got to see how it all plays out. I think Walker remains the starter, but this race is going to go down to the wire, and how these two guys play in the final preseason game and in the rest of training camp will have a big impact. Check out our website at thepackerspost.com. We've got in-depth articles about the Packers every day. Also, here on YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Daily Packers Post. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe. And, of course, go Pack Go.